Let's do it.
And I got to tell you about my car wash, dude.
Car wash. Forgot my bag.
It's kind of embarrassing. I go to the car wash. Got one of them long tunnel things you like drive through, you know. Got the big, big whirly thing, scrub everything off. It's been cold. Normally I would never take my truck to a car wash, but in the wintertime, I drive through. Summertime, I hand wash that baby, you know.
Yeah.
I got a car wash near the house. I interviewed that thing. It's got some special material. It won't scratch the paint unless it gets something in there. But the material is like foam. It's not thread, so I don't think it's going to catch anything to keep scratching paint, you know. So I interviewed it before I started going there. I go there the other day. When you drive up, they hand you like these dash wipe things. They're like, here you go. So you can clean your dash while you're driving through the car wash. So I'm in my truck. My daughter's in the passenger seat. Aurora's in the baby seat, you know. I've got my dash wipey out and I'm wiping the dash down and all. My truck has a button, and I'm gonna put a little clip here. My truck has a button on the dash where you push the button and all four windows roll down at the same time.
Oh my.
I forgot about it. I didn't even think I'd pushed it. I'm just wiping, and I hear the baby in the back seat make out it, throw out a yell. And I look up, man, there's freaking soap flying in the windows. There's scrubby blue things poking in, slapping Mika in the head. Oh my gosh, my truck was it was soaked, dude. Soaked. It took a half a roll of paper towels to dry up. It's soaked. The baby was soaked. Had to take clothes off of her. She was riding home in a diaper. Oh, it
sound like a bad episode of like King of Queens or something. I just imagine, man. I just imagine old Kevin James driving his truck and Arthur going, "What does this button do?" Dang.
I didn't even know I hit it, man. Oh my, it was always horrible.
Good.
Thankfully, it didn't tear nothing up. Everything was fine.
Yeah. Thank goodness it wasn't one of those that had like the little twisty things that smacked the crap out of your car.
Yeah.
It would have rolled it down and got knocked out at the same time.
Absolutely.
Man. All right, Ted. So you were telling me a minute ago, man, before we came on the air, that NASCAR is really dying right now. They're just not getting the numbers they used to get.
Man, it's like nobody's going to the race, you know.
So this is what I was thinking, man, between now and then. I had a buddy who used to go to every Indy 500 and every Talladega. Ted, he didn't show up on Saturday, man. Yep. He left work on Monday and didn't come back until the following Tuesday.
Wow.
Because there were events all week long.
Yeah.
And I bet because of COVID, that stuff's not happening.
I'm sure that's right, but I mean, it's been longer than that, though. It's been several years now that the people just don't start showing up for races. But name a active NASCAR driver. Do you know any?
Kurt Busch.
He's still driving. Okay, he's in the list. Yep, he's in there.
That was it. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. So I mean, let's just, since we're on that, let's just move to that first. So I was just looking at here the pole position for today, or I mean for tomorrow's race. I was trying to find some names I might recognize.
Okay.
And the guy on the pole, I don't know his name. Martin Truex. I don't know him.
What? Wait, Martin Truex Jr. or Martin Truex?
Junior, yes, Junior.
So Junior was a young gun when the last race I watched with Jeff Gordon. Yeah. He actually took over. He took over for the guy that passed away's son. What was his name? Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Okay.
He took Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s son's position on Jeff Gordon's team.
I got you. Well, now today he's racing for Joe Gibbs Racing, whoever that is.
I don't know. Not that guy.
Yeah. I know a few of the team names, but excuse me, not like I thought it would. So you know Martin Truex. I'm not going to name them all. There's just too many. So names I do recognize is Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman. That's it.
Was it?
That's it. That's all I recognize. That's the only names I know. I haven't watched racing in years, but
so when we were growing up, man, you were either a Jeff Gordon fan or you were part of junior racing. You were one or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I really believe that, like, yeah. Those are the people who watched it in the 60s and 70s claimed it wasn't racing when we watched it. But the truth is, it took on a life of its own. You either liked the Rainbow Warrior or you hated him. And that hate, I think, fueled the popularity of the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah. It definitely didn't hurt. Yeah, you're right. And it did bring in new fans, especially when Junior died. Oh my gosh, dude, it was horrible. And like instantly, another group of people started watching racing because maybe their dad or something watched, and they were just glued to the TV to see how Junior was going to take over for, after his dad was gone. Dale Earnhardt would never be replaced. His son didn't replace him. Dale Earnhardt was one of a kind.
No.
But
but it's a different time.
But The Rock does better trash talking than anybody else in the WWE ever did, ever will do.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And my phone's listening to me right now, so I know that later on today, my Instagram is going to start having race car drivers in my feed to suggest. But I haven't had any. None of them do. None of them do. I never see them in the news like so and so was Instagramming this in the pits, or something like this. There's just not a social media connection. Maybe there's something with NASCAR telling them they can't do it. But I watch guys, pro fishermen. I watch pro fishermen, and I see them on YouTube and Instagram all the time. All the time. There's a direct connection between me and what they're doing in their sport. There's no connection between me and the drivers and what they're doing in their sport.
So I got into frisbee golf for a little while there.
Yeah.
And just like you said, within like a week of started playing, I bought my first set of frisbee golf disc golf, and Instagram started throwing me like these pros who make too much money throwing disc golf.
Right.
Said I friended a few of them, and this one lady, I don't remember her name, but she would teach like clinics daily on how to throw a disc per the situation. And one day, like I commented, and I was like, hey, I noticed that you're not taking the back foot off. Like, how do you do that squat? This one thing. Man, not only did she hit me back, but she like gave me like 10 or 15 different pointers. She told me to videotape myself doing it. She would correct me on it.
That's awesome.
My point is that this woman is making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, probably 100,000 followers. And she took time out to talk to me about it, knowing she was going to get nothing from it.
I have not had that sort of reaction from the pro fishermen, but I have had them react to my comments. And I've had to give comments. I have not anybody, they haven't helped me with my swing fishing, but that's pretty awesome, that you have that connection. It's so amazing, man. With social media, we're just like the ability to actually interact with people. You may not get to, but you could. But before Y2K, you weren't going to meet Tiger Woods, never in your life.
No.
You couldn't.
No.
Never going to happen.
Well, Taylor Swift was not going to like your video, and
it can happen now. Yeah.
Now it could.
She's she's seen not lots, but she's seen several people's content and has given them opportunities in their careers. So she's an amazing person, I think. So back to NASCAR, man. So tomorrow's race, I've forgotten where it is now. It's in Richmond, South Carolina. They're not having time trials to decide who's on the pole. This is kind of new to me. I didn't know this was a thing. So it says that how they're deciding this race and most of the others, this is only what I've read was only 8 of their race events this year are they going to have time trials for pole position.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So what they're doing though is they're doing 4 things. 4 things they're drawing from. Number 1, the drivers finishing in position for the previous race. That's 25% of the weight of what they're using. So where you finish the last race is going to help determine where you start the next race. That's, that kind of makes sense. The car owners finishing position from the previous race. I don't understand that. So I don't know if that's like the weight of the whole team or maybe you swap drivers between races with that car. I don't understand that. The team owners points ranking is 35% of what they're using.
So let me get this straight. First race of the year. I'm up in first place. We're winding final bend. You spin me out. I finish last. So now I start last. I led every lap of this race. But you
Well, I
spun
mean,
me
that
out.
doesn't mean that you start last. I mean, because you got the other three things. You know, that's just what they're using to determine it.
Race number one, there's no points. It's going to
I
go
don't know
off
how
by.
I don't know how they did the first race. That's interesting. I have to go back and look.
But my point is that if you won the first, if you win a race, man, you're gonna stay. And you know as well as I do, starting at the front means a lot.
Yeah.
That's just weird, man.
It is
weird.
It's different. I'm not saying I like it because I don't think I do.
Okay.
The fourth one is, and this one I think is this one's kind of weak because the last one was 35% weight. So you know something's got to give because the previous were 25 each. The last one is the fastest lap from your previous race, and they're only giving it 15% weight of the decision. I mean, if you were burning the paint off the car in the last race, one lap, and then it's only worth 15%, Bubba.
So it just tells me, man, that like, let's say that I've had a bad race, I'm 4 or 5 laps back. There's been some, everybody's coming in the pits. You're gonna radio in, hey Jason, dude, when you hit that, you go across that line, just let it all hang out. This is our fastest lap. Go. Everyone else is off the track. Just let it go.
Right. Yeah. But it's only worth 15%. So,
Right. Yeah. But I mean, if
you're
a couple laps back, who cares? You got to get the points you can get them at.
Ain't that big a win. It does seem like it's leaning towards the team owners that may have more cars because more cars means more points if you're doing good with more cars. And
that's true.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. But anyway, it's my NASCAR update for today. And I don't know if I have time to watch tomorrow, but I'm going to try to squeeze in a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, man, I think that the sport started going down when they really started trying to prevent wrecks from happening. I'm all about player safety, driver safety, but when you put machines on the car to keep them going as fast, when you start eliminating possibilities for accidents, when you start doing things to take the excitement out of it for safety, which we're seeing that in the NFL too. That's not just here, but it takes away that desire. I mean, honestly, man, when I watched it, Jeff Gordon was my driver. If he didn't have a chance to win, I just watched for one reason, bro. I wanted to see the big one. I wanted to see 20, 30 cars just crushed. I wanted to see Kyle Busch. I think it was Kyle Busch. I wanted to see his M&M car upside down going down the straightaway. I mean, that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, you weren't alone, man. A lot of people, man, they just want to see the big one. They just can't wait to see the big nasty. I'm not.
If you take that away, you take it away. Like, what is that?
I think it's fantastic. It was the newer cars. They have on the roof and on the back. They got the little things that jump up whenever the car spins around to help slow it down and spin it back. Dude, that is amazing. That is so awesome. How come street cars don't?
Sure know. I don't know.
That's amazing, man. Hey, did you see, man? I don't have much about this, but I was just so happy to see that. I've been really worried, I mean, well, Brittany and I, we're about the same age. She's from Louisiana and I'm from Arkansas, She said this week she just wanted her fans to know that she's doing okay. Mentally, she's just okay.
Brittany, I'm happy for you, Brittany Spears, man. I'm glad you're doing all right. Man, that's a household name in our house, man. On Saturdays, we turn on the music. Lexi dances to Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, man. It's 2000 all over again, man.
Man, I wish that way back whenever she got divorced from Kevin Fenderline, man, I wish I could have just got Brittany, just come on the house, just stay here for a little while, just get your stuff straight, just get your
mind right,
and then get back out there,
Get your mind right. And honestly, man, if you look at Brittany's past, man, we talked about her dad a few episodes ago, but she really doesn't have a place in life where she can really go. It appears from the outside. She doesn't have a core. She doesn't have a stable rock she can talk to stuff about. I mean, if you don't have family to hold you down, it's just not an easy life to be in.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because her family is they're just all a bunch of buttholes, what I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to capitalize off her gains.
Yeah. I didn't think we were going to talk that long about Brittany. I'm going to say that was about 30 seconds longer than I expected.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You were talking about another
Movies
female
come,
singer earlier.
huh?
What's that?
What is it?
You were talking about another female singer earlier who's set some records.
Well, I don't know. We want to go back to back. So yeah, man, Taylor Swift, she broke a record this week. I'm a big fan of Taylor. I guess everybody else is. I don't own any of her records, so I'm not like helping her cause or anything. But yeah, Taylor Swift, she has released 3 albums in the last year that have all gone #1, and that means that she's beaten the Beatles out. The Beatles, or Taylor Swift has done. She's had 3 #1 albums in 254 days, or 256 days, something like that. And the Beatles was 360 days, just right at a year. And so she's beat him out, a 54-year-old record. Just amazing. Like, you got to be the top, man. And I get so tired of hearing people that are a little bit older than me, maybe my age, say that new music sucks and it's just not as good as old music. I'm here to tell you, man, Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran, they're running the table, man. Those big rock bands from the 70s, no, man, they're not it. They ain't even got a prayer, man. These two are just, they're gonna make up new records for, records to break. Not the kind that spin, but like the ones you hang on the wall.
So I will admit that for me, and I feel like, man, there's a line from King of the Hill. You know me very well. I've watched King of the Hill nonstop. Man, Peggy's going through her cassettes. She's got her pencil out.
Yeah.
For all your old heads, man, she's tightening the thing up, and she's like, man, I remember when this song came out and this song came out, like I was in front of everything. I was right on the cutting edge until about 12 years ago. I wonder what changed, and her 12-year-old son walked by. Yeah. So I do think it's interesting that now that your kids are all adults, that you're like back on the cutting edge of the music, and you're like, man, this music's better than that old stuff. It's like, welcome to 21 again, man.
But I'm not even cutting edge though, because Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran, they're really more my children's teenage years or late teen years music. They're not new and fresh. And
she just did 3 albums. She did 3 albums in a year, bro. She's pretty fresh.
Oh, she's almost got the most albums of anyone of all time. If she doesn't, she's right behind. It'd have to be. I don't know. I don't even know who's got the most albums of all time. I had to look this up. If she hasn't already broke that record, she can't be far from it. I mean, she nearly has one a year, and this year she's had 3. One was a re-record, but still. What do you got there?
I'm Googling who has the most albums.
I knew you was going. I knew this what you.
Let's see what pops up here.
Man, I wish I had a prediction before you get there. Man, it'd have to be like
go ahead.
Queen or Journey. Yeah. I don't even know. Maybe the Who or U2. I bet it's U2. I'm gonna say U2.
All right, so let's go this multiple ways. Let's go multiple ways. First, which American artist has sold the most albums? Give me that one.
Ooh, Michael Jackson.
Very close. He's in the top 5. That is actually number 5.
All right. Hey, hold on. Is it Garth Brooks?
Dang it, you're right on the money. But he's only up by 1.5 million over the next person.
And just think, he's pretty much had a rebirth of his career. His kids are now grown or either in high school or out of high school. And he's back on it, man. He's toured. Like Garth is, he's back.
So Elvis Presley was number 1 with 146.5 million units.
I'm ashamed to say that his name didn't even come into my mind, but that makes sense.
The Eagles are 3rd with a Hondo.
Wow.
Billy Joel 4th, 82.5. Then Michael Jackson, 81. And then George Strait at 69. Barbara Streisand, 68.5 million units.
Man, Barbara Streisand, she was a big thing to our parents' generation. And she had a couple songs that I can't recall the memory right now. She has a few songs, but I did not know she was that popular. I would have thought it'd be like Cher or something, not Barbara Streisand.
Madonna comes in at number 10.
Man, she stopped. She quit too early. Why did Madonna just switch from music to just taking dirty pictures of herself?
Yeah.
She quit so soon. She wasn't even that old whenever she kissed Britney at the Super Bowl. She looked ancient because she didn't ever take any time off and quit doing dope or whatever she was doing. But she's only in her 50s now, I think.
Okay. I'm waiting for the list to pull all the way up. Who has produced? Which band or singer has released the most albums of all time?
I don't know. So I thought I said you two. I don't know. Now I'm kind of wondering because you. I don't know.
No.
No.
Frank Zappa.
Who?
Frank Zappa.
I never heard of him. Okay.
119 albums.
That sounds like cheating, man. He had like one song on every album or something. Where's he from?
I really don't know, man. He died in 1993.
Is it like ukulele music or something? Is this hilltop? I don't know, dude.
I don't either. Johnny Cash is second with 167 albums.
Wow.
Yep.
167?
Yes, sir. Buckethead comes in third, which I really don't understand this.
167 albums.
Yes.
So I'm having like a comparison. Is this like spaghetti westerns and John Wayne, just like they're calling them movies, but they were just really 45-minute?
I really don't know. It says that he churned out 55 studio albums on top of presenting his own TV show in a matter of a couple of years. It doesn't say how many, that's what the article says.
Wow.
So this guy Buckethead, apparently he played the guitar. He played the guitar for Slash Shaped Hole and for Guns N' Roses. It names a few others, but he was in a total of 204 albums. But he's the guitar player, so he's kind of a step aside.
He's called Buckethead?
Buckethead. Buckethead. So apparently these are in no order whatsoever. It's just a list of them.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Elvis Presley, in total, 313 albums. But here's the kicker. 60 of which were released after his death in 1977. I don't really know how you want to rank that one.
I don't know. I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
what's kind of funny here. I had to Google him, man. Buckethead. Most of the pictures that I found of him already.
Yeah.
He's hang on. I get my phone to camera to zoom in. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. He's wearing KFC buckets on his head.
Wearing KFC buckets, I know. Old school KFC buckets.
Wow.
Love it.
I
love it.
What a change of events, man. You just never know where the show's gonna go.
Yeah, it's leave it to us, man. We're gonna go straight to Buckethead.
All right. Well, I don't know that Taylor's gonna crank out 200 albums, so I think she might not.
Okay. That's true. That's true. I just keep, man, I'm just fascinated by Buckethead right now, man. The guy's awesome. That guy is awesome. I wish I could find like an honest to goodness list, but I can't, so I'm done with that now.
Yeah. That was fun.
Old Buckethead. See if I can't get John to put a bucket on.
Yeah, man. So you got some fun. So when is the draft? When's the NFL draft?
So it's 13 days from today.
Okay.
April 30th.
All right.
We're gonna have the NFL draft. I'm gonna come from you live. I'll have a few guests with me back and forth. And
that's gonna be fun, man. Live reactions, dude. That's gonna be pretty sweet.
What did you do to your eye, Ted?
I have a sty. It actually looks really good now. I had it last week too. I was surprised you didn't say nothing. It looked a lot worse last week.
Oh man.
So a sty is a hair follicle that stopped draining. This is the second one I've had now. It's about a year apart. Last one that only bothered me for about 4 days. I went to the doctor and she gave me a little bitty bottle of baby shampoo, and she says, "Here, go home and keep washing your eye and putting heat on it, and massage it, and eventually it'll go away. If it doesn't go
Okay.
away, they cut it out. So I suggest you go home and get to washing. I said, you got it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So, I also have some eye drops. I got like some, because man, I'm glad too. And I hate eye drops with a passion. You have no idea, but man, I run in
Yeah.
there and just jump underneath that squirter because it's not pleasant. But it
No,
looks
I
much
hate
better
eye
now.
drops.
I'm glad you noticed it now. It's
Good.
not really painful.
I'm glad it's better. I'm glad it's
Yeah.
better. Sorry about that. So, NFL draft. I'm gonna myself and the guest.
What was it? What was his
name?
name? Mr. Pigskin. What was his name? The
Oh,
guest?
yeah, Dr. Pigskin.
Is it Dr. Pigskin?
It is now.
Okay.
Dr.
Dr. Russell Pigskin. Okay.
Russell Pigskin. He'll be joining us. Obviously, he is a Washington Redskin fan. Washington
football fan.
The Washington football of Washington. Washington. For all of you that seen the Redskins play, they have the nose piece. I'm going to see if John will not wear the. If John
Russell?
can get that Dr. Russell to wear it.
Dr. Russell.
Dr. Russell. So I'll obviously be keeping you guys up to date on the no show preps, top 50 players, maybe top 100 going into the second day.
50.
We'll give predictions on who we think each team should draft based upon their needs. And of course, you'll have live reactions when the draft rolls through.
Man, I hate them on
If you're a specific fan.
Well, they have like a results app or something. I wonder if I can be able to watch it while I'm at work and just maybe message you or something. I hate I'm going to miss all this because I got to work. Stinking jobs.
Me too.
Oh, I still have a job. I'm not saying that, but I love my job.
So I'm going to give you guys breaking news. Amazing right here. I'm going to announce the very first pick of the draft right here, 17 April. Write it down. Yeah, the kid out of Clemson. He's obviously going to go number one. I mean, that's given.
What's his name?
The kid out of Clemson?
Yeah.
Yeah, edit this part. I just went completely blank. I was coming out when I said it.
Forget it. Where's Trevor from?
Trevor
Lawrence.
Clemson.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So interesting idea for you about Trevor Lawrence. So this week, Trevor Lawrence says I didn't read it. Something along the lines with maybe his dad said, but he says that he's not Super Bowl or nothing. He's going to go play football. And his dad says, no, he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. He's all in on the game. And he got a lot of negative reviews for this attitude. A lot of outtakers. And one of the sports guys was yesterday who is very successful and knows most of them and most of the ones for the last 20 years. He said something that I had never thought about. He says, how many of you would win the lottery and keep going to work? Man, I had a moment in the car, dude. I almost had to pull over to think about that. I can't even imagine going from, I'm sure that not all these kids are as poor as we were growing up. I'm sure some of them have, fairly upper middle class or maybe upper class lifestyles. They don't have $150 million contract in 3-year lifestyles.
Yeah, that's true.
You're talking about money that you can't even spell. You don't even know how rich you are until it shows up in your bank account.
So it's interesting you said that, man. So Moses Moody, Arkansas Razorback phenom, potentially going to go top 5 in the draft.
Yep.
Halfway through the year, around Christmas, when Moses went from like top 100 player coming out of high school, so it was really obvious he was going to be drafted. And his parents were on one of the sports stations there in Arkansas, and I just caught the replay. But they asked his mom about how she felt her son would play in the NBA. And she said, this would be a harder decision if my husband and I were not we were not in the place we are financially. And she said, you don't realize how many players get drafted and never get to keep the money because they do not fulfill the minimum requirements of the selection.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you could be drafted, do whatever you do, and then not get to keep all the money.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So she said basically that if something happens and Moses gets hurt or whatever, they can afford to pay to send him back to school to finish his degree and live a normal life. She said, if we couldn't afford this, she said, first of all, we did not expect him to be talking about being drafted after 1 year. He was supposed to graduate in 3 years and then go to the NBA. She said that was their plan coming out.
Sure.
Not 6 weeks into being a freshman, and hey, by the way, you're not going to go make millions of dollars play basketball. No,
yeah, I mean, it's got to change things when people are calling you, even though you're not supposed to, and saying, "Hey, son, you have the future, and we want you." People you've only seen on TV.
Yeah,
and maybe they don't personally do it, but that the sports people, the news, the reporters or whatever, they're actually working. Everybody's working. Everybody's taking money. So maybe the person not supposed to come on campus and recruit you to be pro, but that news reporter just told you or handed you a note saying, "We want you."
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you were talking about social media earlier a minute ago, but Bobby Portis is a great picture of Little Rock. Man, he's like the Darren McFadden of basketball, in that he doesn't have 501 tattooed right here, but every tweet is about Little Rock. And when he starts tweeting your name saying next big guy, next big guy, top 5 pick, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. Like when Bobby Portis and Daniel Gafford and other Razorbacks are screaming like you're going to be a lottery pick, you're going to be a lottery pick.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting that you were thinking, and me too, that it is a world life-changing, generational changing event. And Moses Moody's family was thinking, thank goodness we can afford to take care of this. If the if the world changes, thank goodness we can take care of the other direction. I'd never thought about that side of it.
So Trevor Lawrence get drafted. He goes plays. We're going to pretend he plays a successful year of football. Maybe not his first year. Maybe it's his second year. That would be even worse. So could you imagine that? Like you don't even play. You're just playing your third string to learn, and you're getting paid a lot of money. You're not even playing, and you're expected to continue to go to work, not build that house and just live out in the woods like you always thought buy the helicopter and I don't know that I mentally have that, and especially not when I was 22.
Jamarcus Russell, this was back when all the contracts were guaranteed. Before they had so now if you're drafted number 13 overall, there's no discussion. You get paid whatever you get paid.
Okay.
It's mandatory. Back then it wasn't that way. So Jamarcus got like a $50 million signing bonus. And he basically was like, wait a minute, y'all can't take this back? Nope. Well, time for me to flunk out of the league then because I got paid.
Yeah.
And yeah, he went from like in shape to looking like a KFC was his only meal. And he quickly washed out of the league, but he got paid. I mean, like you just said, he won the lottery and said, I'm going to build this house out in the woods. I'm good.
You remember what was the wrestler's name from Arkansas? Not wrestler, boxer. The boxer's name from Arkansas.
Man, Ben's even met this guy.
Oh my gosh.
What is his name? Never thought I'd forget his name.
Oh well.
Jermaine Taylor.
Jermaine Taylor, man.
Jermaine Taylor.
We got a guy that is like just a regular dude, except he can fight. He's he's a Central Arkansas boy, and he's just in the spotlight, in the international spotlight overnight.
Yeah.
And there's apparently not a school for how to act when you're rich. He would come home between the fights when he's just training, and he was just like, he's just a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? He's getting in trouble. He's having fun. He's having a good time. Jermaine Taylor, he shows up out in Conway, a bunch of guys out there unloading four-wheelers. He shows up and he's like, I want to ride. And like, dude, everybody's got their own bike, man. You got to. So he calls somebody who knows the guy that owns like a four-wheeler shop in town, which is closed because it's, nighttime. The guy runs by there, opens the door, push out a four-wheeler. He goes to the gas station, gasses it up, just shows up out there in Conway with, you know what I'm
saying? Dang.
He was great, dude. He had, I don't know where he's got to be around here somewhere. I just had heard the interaction.
Do you know who Bryce Mitchell is?
That name's familiar.
Bryce Mitchell, Cabot, Arkansas. He became Facebook famous because after he won his first fight in UFC, got on there, and Joe Rogan's all up in his face. Hey, blah 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 blah. He's like, all he did is he just chanted Arkansas. Ask me about Arkansas. Don't ask me about this fight. I whipped his keister. Just ask me about Arkansas. I'm all about them pigs, man. All about Arkansas. Just talk about that. And Joe Rogan is like, man, calm down. I guess you're from Arkansas. That's right. So he made big news when he would not sell the position above his butt crack, like that big area where it just says Arkansas.
That's
he
awesome.
Won't sell it.
Wow, that's so awesome.
He's a middleweight, and I follow him on all the social medias. He's a class act. Still fights in Cabot. Still practices there.
Yeah.
Still loves the state. Not a sellout.
That's awesome, man.
So, yeah, I like to watch him fight. He likes to wrestle. He's more of a twist you in a pretzel and watch you tap and a punch you in the mouth kind of guy. I'm not saying that I want you to punch me in the mouth, Bryce. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's a lot better at making people tap.
Yeah.
Good UFC fighter. I hope he gets big time. He's already big time. I hope he gets to the championship.
Yeah. Rice, yeah. What? Rice Mitchell?
Bryce Mitchell.
I gotta look him up, man.
Yeah. Bryce Mitchell.
So I got to do another product review. The last one had big success. I had so many comments, like zero.
Zero. Yeah.
And in all fairness, I actually went and bought another, not peach, but apricot Pepsi. It was, I have had another one. I had two now.
Okay, two.
I have another product review for today. First, I got to put on my, turn my hat. I got to represent here, man. We've seen this up in Pennsylvania. And they wanted a little too much for it, and we were driving, so I didn't stop. So what I have today is
can't see it. Can't see it. What do you got there? What you got there? Man, is that my beer?
The other one was.
Is that a Yuengling?
21 to enjoy. It says. I got it's
a Yuengling, a Hershey Yuengling. All right,
Yuengling. So it's supposed to have like Hershey's chocolate in the.
Man,
gotta clean my mess up here.
Man, Yuengling. I'd love to have a Yuengling right now. We don't have those over here.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, Yuengling and the one that you get is okay. The one that says dark and nasty, or dark and black, or dark and seductive.
No, I can't do stouts,
dude. No, stouts okay. I'm telling you, that dark man, dude. It's not fit for human consumption.
Look, man.
I drank two. I threw the rest away.
Okay.
All right, so I got my beer opener here. Give us a try.
Here we go.
21 to enjoy, it says. I'm a little older than 21.
You're a little over 21.
Yuengling Hershey's chocolate porter, it says. Pottsville, PA. That's where it is, man. We rolled through there.
Yeah, we went to Pottsville. Drink up. Chug, chug, chug.
It actually does taste like chocolate.
Okay. Is that your drink of choice?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm not. It's
okay.
You know how you open up like the can of like Hershey's cocoa powder?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of dust like blows up in your nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. It's got that cocoa. I was really worried it was gonna be like milk chocolate or like Hershey's chocolate, but candy bar, but it's very cocoa.
So while Ted sips on this, let me break these down for you guys. So Dr. Pigskin is going to have to drink every time there is a bad draft pick.
How are you going to determine a bad draft pick?
Me and Mr. Bishop are going to decide what is a bad draft pick. Obviously, we are going to predict the picks ahead of time. And if they don't fall in line with our prediction, it's drinking time.
I got you. So it's not, I got you. That's a bad pick if it's not in your predictions. Okay, I got that. I like it. So I hate I'm not going to be part of this. Gosh dang it.
We'll probably do like who we would draft, and then as long as it's, I don't want to get out of line. I haven't spoken to my counterpart, Mr. Bishop, yet.
Yeah, you better get that lined up, man. And then
but I'm suspecting if we say they really need to go defensive lineman here, and they're like, we drafted a punter, John's going to be drafted.
So I'm going to say that I really like this idea because when I turn on the radio, I feel too much like the sportscasters, the announcers. I don't know why they're saying what they are, but I'm starting to feel like they're very affected by money.
Yes.
And something I don't like about sports radio right now, and even some TV. Kind of froze up on me.
There we go. Sorry, I lost you.
There you go. Okay.
I think I'm back.
So you back? There you go. All right.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. I used to
Very
like not
about money.
I used to not watch the Weather Channel because I felt like the news or the weather reporters at the TV set in Atlanta, I felt like they were too casual. And I feel like that the sportscasters and some news reporters, I think they became too casual also, since they're all working from home. And I don't know. I had a hard time with radio lately, man. They really get distracted and talk about other things. And almost like they've been like they've been talking about it too much in a row.
Yeah.
Like they have very few people actually working, and they're doing like the whole 24-hour news cycle because there's so few of them working. It's just not very fresh. It's not very current. You know, it just doesn't feel. And it doesn't feel genuine.
We're gonna try to fix that for you.
I appreciate that.
So one of the things that me and Mr. Bishop are gonna do is we're gonna break down probably about every 10 picks. We'll unveil our next set of 10. For instance, we're gonna unveil our top 10 in the order in which they should be rated, and then when we think they're gonna get picked.
Yeah.
Because I think it's no secret right now that with the move by San Francisco to jump up and the Jets trading back and Philadelphia trading back, everybody's getting out of the way for this run on quarterbacks. That doesn't mean the first 5 best players in this draft are quarterbacks. So we want to let you know if your team, in our mind, gets a quality pick, if they reached a little bit, or if their pick was right on the number, just nailed it. Like, for instance, my Dallas Cowboys, it's rumored they're going to try to draft Patrick Surtain. They had the number 10 pick in the draft. Surtain, by most people, is rated the 16th best player. But he's the best defensive back. So he's probably going to go earlier than 16 because there's about 5 teams that need a defensive back.
Yeah.
So kind of the same deal. Obviously, the number 1 overall player in this draft is your boy from Clemson. But number 2 is Mr. Soley, the offensive lineman from Oregon, who can play guard or tackle at all 4 positions, not named center.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. And center?
He cannot play center. He's never played center. Okay. But he played guard for 2 years at Oregon and then left and right tackle.
Left and right?
Yes.
That's not even heard of, man.
Right. He is ambidextrous. They say he's an ambidextrous tackle. So basically he was the Jets pick, but when the Jets traded back, now the question is how far is he going to fall? And let's not talk about Mr. Pitts, tight end from Florida, who they're saying might be the best tight end since Gronkowski. Could even be better than Gronkowski. He's 6'6", almost 250 pounds, and he's just a monster. Runs a sub 440, but he's a tight end. So
yeah.
So the top 3 players are Trevor Lawrence, Pitts, Soley, in whatever order you want to put them in. But because this run on quarterbacks, and then we're not even talking about the Alabama receiver who won the Heisman. I mean, there's so many quality players.
I'm surprised you only named 1 quarterback since there's really 3 that are going in this draft that are pretty impressive. I know there's 5, but I mean, there's 3 that we all desperately remember. I hope that 3 of the 5 make it to be successful quarterbacks, and I hope next year we get like 5 more because I'm tired of the tired quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, Could you? It amazes me that some of these guys still have starting jobs. It's
So speaking of that, I'm going to read you 6 quarterbacks, man.
6 quarterbacks. Okay, all right, I'm ready.
Tell me what they all have in common.
They played football.
Wow, you are a beast. Well played. So Chad Penny.
Don't know him.
What's up?
Who is it?
Chad Pennington.
Don't know him.
Okay. Giovanni Carmanzi.
Don't be making up names, man.
I know. Mark Bolger. Okay, thank you. I'm embarrassed to tell you this. I can't say this guy's first name. Spergon.
I don't know.
Spurgon Wayne, T. Martin, and Chris Redmond.
Is this the starting lineup for the Yankees?
Those were all drafted in front of Tom Brady.
Oh, okay.
4 of them were drafted in the first round.
Hey, man.
So this came up when they were talking about Felipe Franks today during the red and white game. And they said, well, Felipe may not be drafted. He might be a 6th or 7th round draft pick. And the guy said, you mean like Tom Brady?
What? So, yes. But I don't think Felipe is Tom Brady. But you say Felipe Franks. Okay, just Felipe Franks. We know he's a good quarterback. He'll never be remembered that he played at Arkansas. It'll never be said. He's always going to be the quarterback from Florida. Kind of pisses me off.
A&M. No, Florida. You're right, Florida. Sorry.
This is 2021. So let's forget it and pretend it's 2023. Felipe Franks still has a career. If Carson Wentz still has a starting position, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to drink Diet Coke or something. I'm just saying.
That's okay. So let's talk about Carson Wentz for just a second. So let's all not forget that Carson Wentz was 13-0 his rookie year, and he was diving for the end zone to win the game when that helmet went through his ankle and broke his ankle.
I understand. How long ago was that?
No. My question is, if he doesn't get a broken ankle right then, is there any doubt he doesn't lead that team to the Super Bowl? I mean, they're
obviously, yeah, they were going to be at the Super Bowl. Yes, they were going to.
Yeah. How different is your view of Carson Wentz if he doesn't get hurt? I mean,
I'm sure it would change, but history is history. I mean, it just didn't work out.
I know. But my thoughts are though, like, if he comes out, where did he go? The Rams. If he gets to the Rams and he gets on a team with a quality offensive line and all those weapons and a real defense, he might be the Carson Wentz that before the broken ankle, just because he's got 5 guys who actually want to block for him.
It might, and that might mean he wins this year. Like, it could happen. I mean, like he's the numbers say that they're going to be a good team, and the Rams always have a quality.
They do. But the San Francisco 49ers, they traded for, I went blank on the guys, and they traded for the Patriots to get that quarterback. I forgot his name just now. Everybody out there knows who it is. And it was a complete waste. They traded all those picks for him, and he had a decent year, got him a good year, got him a Super Bowl, and that was it. I mean, they just were trash after that.
Yeah.
And so it's such a thin razor's edge, which you were talking about the same tired names, but to me, like, that's what makes it so crazy that Roethlisberger has started since his first day in the pros, still has a job today. It makes you really leery about bringing in someone to replace him because, man, Roethlisberger's not a top 5 guy anymore, but he's sure better than a lot of the guys out there.
The Steelers nearly went to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
And for some reason on my TV, they don't get played a lot, but I mean, they won. They had a real winning record. They were like 0-9 or 0-10.
Yeah, they went I think they went 11-5 overall. I mean, they did well. I mean, it's just amazing.
I mean, I know the new guy is not always the best guy, but man, but you're right. I mean, I'm not even willing to replace Ben Roethlisberger, but I think that he's one of the tired names, even though I didn't think it in my mind. I think he's one of
Pardon
them
me.
too.
So the Steelers went 12-4 under Ben. 12-4. The Both the Ravens, who have the new upstart young quarterback, went 11-5, and the Browns went 11-5. I mean, that's amazing to me. The Browns went 11-5 ever.
The Browns
But
were kicking butt, dude. Their quarterback is
They
the
are.
man.
I know it's just hard to believe, but
Oh
those two
man,
young guns.
I mean,
Those two young guns.
I was watching the Browns football. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, he just didn't know they were going to win a game.
Right. Washington doesn't have a quarterback. The Giants, I don't believe in their quarterback. Dallas has a quarterback. If you think Dak's the guy, some do, some don't. We'll all see this year. Philadelphia does not have a quarterback. We got to see what they're going to do. Green Bay might have a guy, probably maybe the best all time, depending on how y'all figures it out. Aaron Rodgers. The Bears do not have a quarterback. There's a rumor they're going to try to trade up with the Cowboys to take the pick. Minnesota doesn't have a quarterback. Forgive me, guys, if they go and got some in the offseason. It's not a franchise guy. Franchise quarterbacks don't move. Detroit does, but he wants out of Detroit. I don't blame you, Sam. Not Sam Darnold. Oh my goodness. Who's Detroit's quarterback? Same guy forever. You know who it is. That's why I asked you because I forgot to.
I don't know.
Matthew Stafford.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's another tired name that I was going to bring up. Yes, I didn't realize that's where he was at.
Yep.
Man, it's an embarrassment that Matt Stafford and the coach in Seattle both still have jobs. I don't even
look. When they reached out to the Cowboys about trading him to the Dallas Cowboys for almost nothing, what do you have to think if you're Matthew Stafford when they wanted to trade you for almost nothing? Like, just cut him, let him go. Where are the Saints going? They don't have Drew Brees anymore. How good are they going to be?
I don't know. You know, and that hurts, man. Drew's given us a lot of good football.
Yeah.
And through some really rough years in New Orleans.
Yes. I mean, and how many times did they get, so he won a Super Bowl, but he got so close so many other times. Garoppolo, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay, Garoppolo, yeah.
Yep. They traded for Garoppolo, and it just didn't work. They think they've got someone in that young kid Mullins. We'll see what happens in the 49ers. But we're in turnover right now. The NFL is positively turning over in quarterbacks. You've got the new young guys that run around and throw everywhere. But we watched the Super Bowl, and probably the best young gunslinger in the game got taken to school by Tom Brady. I mean, he sat him down at a postgraduate course and just flunked him.
Man, what about my quarterback? You know, old Peyton's been hanging out up there teaching him.
Yes.
Like, as I was saying, they've been like hanging out this winter, you know, because Peyton lives in Denver now.
Yeah.
And they've been hanging out a lot, you know, kind of showing him some moves. And
yeah.
And that's got to be tough to be that quarterback and have somebody that you watched on football when you were in grade school trying to show you what to do.
Well, you know, man, we can get all these high flying offenses and all the new rules, but the truth is, the team that can assert their will on the offense and defensive line, they win the game.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw, man. Tom Brady, now he wins so many games in between his ears, and you know I hate Tom Brady, but he is just he's just such a great general of the game. He just has that handle of the whole thing. But they just dominated on both sides of the ball in the trenches. And then Tom Brady picked them apart when the opportunity presented itself.
I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but I'm glad that he went on and he won a Super Bowl. I wanted him to win so bad after leaving the coach up there at the Patriots, man. I'm just so sick of that guy. He's such a hateful man.
Yeah. 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 It's going to be interesting, man. Draft night, 30th, and then the 31st. I feel like I have my days wrong because I'm pretty sure draft actually starts Thursday night. So
That does seem like it seems more
let me make
normal.
sure I got this 100% before I tell you guys anything.
Yeah.
And I'm completely wrong. Haha. It starts on the Friday the 30th for me at midnight. Whew. So it
Wow.
does. It starts Thursday at 7 p.m. for you.
Okay.
The 29th. The 29th. Dang time zones. Goodness gravy. So Thursday night, 7 o'clock, tune in. 7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
All right, so you said it's on the 30th, so we got one more video before your draft. So we got some days here to think about it, but definitely have to watch for the draft and
Yeah.
check out some book reviews, man. This next one, John Corey, the Lion Game, man. Whew.
We're gonna drop that. We're gonna, of course, the third book in the Dresden series, where everything really pops off, where it goes from being a college project to probably like one of the best series of all time.
Could be. It could be. Yeah. All right, man. Let's close this out, dude.
Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends.
See you next time.